what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. You guys know what we are here for tonight. We are here for Single Soulmates, the Kings panel. Hopefully, we will have PO joining us any minute. And I think we have a newcomer coming on tonight, too. I want to say Fernando. He might be joining us as well. He says he's setting up now. So he might be joining us. Anyway, you guys know how I like to do. I like to go around the room, have everyone introduce themselves. Also, too, you guys know I am Miss Sabrina Soul. You probably have seen me on Ready to Love DC. And of course, a shout out to my soulmates that are in the chat right now. I see you guys. Please make sure you click that thumbs up. If you are new here, hello, hello, hello. So we're going to go around the room. Please let them know where they have probably seen your face. Let them know where they can find you on social media platforms and any websites or anything that you would like to promote as well. Please do so at this time. We're going to start with Johan.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Once again, this is Yohan, all about mortgage and real estate. Happy to be here tonight just to share a little bit more about personal opinion about whatever questions Sabrina has. And, I'm very happy to be here tonight, and hello to the chat.
Adonis.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I am Adonis Allen. You saw me on Ready to Love season 8, Dallas. I am an erotic author and sensual dominant author of Bo Erotica Book 1. Sabrina has enjoyed a couple of stories so far herself, so she can attest to its styling. But I'm happy to be here, happy to talk to you guys and be on the show and help out any way I can. And you can find me at boa.erotica on Instagram and boaerotica.com.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for your introductions. And of course, we'll do an extroduction once we're done for anyone that did not catch the introduction. All right. So once again, thank you so much for being here with me. I always appreciate you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining me for these panels. I do Single Soulmates because I think, with us starting off with the whole Ready to Love realm and Johan being a part of the panel and the chat and stuff like that, just from the very beginning and supporting me in this. I think that these are conversations and, that need to be had. And if y'all have not seen the Queens panel from last night, you want to make sure you go back to last night because the Kings and Queens, they meet every week. The Queens on Wednesday, the Kings on Thursdays, and the very same questions that we have tonight, they had last night. So you definitely want to check that out. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and bring Fernando to the stage.
What up? What up? What up?
Hey, fellas. Hey, Sabrina, how you doing?
Good. So we literally just got started. In the beginning, what I like to do is everyone goes around the room and they introduce themselves. Please let them know where they have probably seen your face. And I know where I've seen you know what I mean? But I don't think they know who you are. So definitely let them know who you are, where they've probably seen your face. If it's anything that you want to promote, websites, podcasts, please let them know where they can also follow you on social media platforms. And then we'll get started.
Sure. Fernando from Ready to Love Potomac, the second season in DC. First guy out, but damn, I'm still that guy regardless. But it's a joy to be here. Thank you guys for having me. Please support me. Try Being Savage, TikTok, Instagram. I'm always traveling. I'm always out and about and showing the folks, different parts of the world they've never seen before. Just got back from Canada on Tuesday. I was there for MLK Ski Weekend, and I said I'm always out and about. Just feel free to check in, check my story, check my page, and I said follow me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely follow him because he's always traveling and he puts up some amazing posts. Definitely. All right, so this is Fernando's first time on Single Soulmate. So I just want to say welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining us for the soulmate with my soulmate community for Single Soulmates. Also, too, I forgot. We're going to go around the room. I did it for the Queens, so I have to do it for the Kings because people be sliding my DM saying, are they single? Is such and such single? Let them know. So while you're on the show, please let them know. Can we go around the room and let everyone know if you are single or if you're dating or if you're taken, etc. Start with Johan.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's a weekly question.
Yes, because they be acting like they don't remember from last week.
They need updates in real time.
Yeah, they want update in real time.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm single. And I leave it at that. My dating situation is my own journey, but I would just say I'm single. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Adonis.
A week after I was told I wasn't ready to love, I slid in the DMs of an amazing woman, and we started our relationship Cinco de Mayo, and it's been great.
Juju, shout out to Juju. Okay. We
Yes,
love
Juju,
Juju
my
over here.
baby.
Ironically, guys, Juju, which is Adonis's partner, she is actually on the Queens panel. So definitely check her out sometimes too on the Queens panel. So she's a hoot. I love Juju. And
Yeah.
Fernando, are you single, dating, or what?
Single. I'm dating. I was dating before the show. I was dating after the show. Ain't nothing changed.
Right, right. Look, someone in the chat, Rick says things change. Hey, it can change every week to week. You never know. Like, oh, we ain't together no more. I'm single again, or no, I'm me and Bay holding strong. 3 weeks later, nope, Bay gone. You never know. But
Yeah.
anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get started. I did send the questions in the chat so you guys had a chance to overlook. I know, Fernando, I'm not sure if you got a chance to look, but I'm going to go over the panel questions very, very quickly. And for all that's interested, definitely stay on so you can hear the answer and from a man's perspective. And if you want to hear from a female's perspective, definitely go to the Queen's panel from last night. All right. So number one is, if your mom did not like your mate, what would you do? Number two, should bedroom issues stay private? Would you be upset if your partner told their bestie, like, our sex life is boring? And number three, how can you tell when you have outgrown a relationship? And number four, your partner has not been intimate with you in months. Is it okay for them to find it elsewhere? And just to let you know that some of these questions that I have just said are soulmate questions. So this is someone that I want to say Auntie Eva and others, of course, have slid into my DM to let me know some questions that they want to discuss on the soulmate. So if you do have anything that you would like for us to discuss, definitely shoot them in my DM, and then hopefully, we can get them on the show. We're going to go ahead and add PO to the stage as well. Hey,
My
PO.
God.
What up? What up?
What's up, Theo?
Savage. What's
My
up,
boy.
fam?
Hey, fam.
All right.
You want to go ahead? I know people probably already know, but you want to go ahead and let them know, PO, where they can find you on socials. You want to give them any websites, etc.
Listen, I'm 100 sightings on IG, everywhere you want to be, and that's just what it is.
And get at them.
Yeah, and get at me. Yeah, there we go.
All right, guys. So we're going to start with panel question number one. If your mom did not like the person that you were dating, what would you do? Would you leave them? You stay with them? You hiding them? Like, what you doing?
That's difficult because that's mom's number one. But at the same time, it's my life, But I can't have discord in my life at all. So what I would do is get to the bottom of it, have a conversation with my mother, figure out what's the problem, or if the issue is the other way, have a problem with my woman, figure out what's the issue, and then bring them together and try to solve it. Because if that's the woman that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me tap in on that, because I actually had my mom actually didn't like my ex. However, the thing is she never voiced that, but I know, when you know your mom, you've been knowing her all your life, you know exactly how she's moving. And I think out of respect for who I am, she's like, yo, you just gonna have to find out on your own. And she just, cleared the room. But if she voiced that and said to me, I don't like her, or I would have to unravel why. Like, what exactly is it? Because it could just be a one-off thing, or something may have gotten placed out of context. But, if it was a hard, I don't like her because she's just mad disrespectful, and, she's just this, then yeah, I would probably have to have a separate conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, my mother's no longer here, so I can't have her opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a situation where my dad and my stepmom didn't like my ex, and I wasn't aware of it. And come to find out, it was based on a very simple misunderstanding over making a plate of food.
Mm.
And ever since that happened
Oh
years
man,
ago, right, of all things. And once that happened,
something
it was a
petty.
wrap. They didn't like her no more. They were like, no, she's not the one for you. She don't cater to you. She don't look out for you, da da da. But it told me all that after we already broke up. So it's too late to even do anything about it. But for the
Yeah.
future, I'm all about information. I want to understand, where it stems from, what happened, what they did, all about perspective. Because what she did, in her mind wasn't anything wrong. But for them,
Mhm.
older folks, different morals, different standards, different norms, for them it was an issue. So trying to figure out the source of the issue and then try to decide how can we move forward. And for her, it could just be something for her to evolve and learn and mature from. So she can learn from that experience and then hopefully going forward begin to get their interest and get their likes.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm like Fernando too. I lost my mom a couple of years ago. But during the time that she was alive and I had her, I was married, and one thing that she never truly did was like tell me who to marry or who to be with. But she always reminded me of the value that she taught me. Essentially, it was never more about I want to make you I want you to make a choice that I want you to make, but it was more about reminding me about those values because she knew that the woman I would bring to her essentially would fall right into this value as well. And that's for my personal situation, um, but in general, I would just say it really depends on the relationship that you also have with your parent. Unfortunately, you're in America. We have a lot of, black men that did not have a good relationship with their mother growing up. So now you find a woman that you want to marry, and you also have a woman who is your mom, but you don't really know her and she doesn't really know you. What are you going to do? So I think for me, it's my situation essentially is just still going back to remembering those values. And if they don't get along, have those conversations like Fernando did. But yeah, it's a tough situation to be in at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's see, I was the way I developed as a man, I want to make my parents proud. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to disappoint them, and I want to feel like I'm living my life by what they taught me, by the morals and the principles that they raised me with. And in a sense, I would have to trust their judgment. Like they might see something that I don't, outside looking in, so it's definitely something to investigate if it ever was to come up, because obviously the women that I'm not with and the relationships that I was in that didn't work, there were times that my family was like, but it was an obvious reason, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it didn't work out. But there was times during the relationship that I didn't see it. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So when it came to the point when I finally did, I'm like, they've been telling me this since month one, So we at month 10. I'm like, oh, you could have saved myself a whole bunch of, but so it really depends on how much you value the opinion of your parents, and how you, if you truly understand that they got your best interest at heart as your parents. But do you let that regulate your life decisions as a man? Like, no, by any means. But at the same time, it's like, if you love and respect your parents, you do consider it.
Mhm.
That's a fact. And I'll just tap on to what he was saying. Ultimately, you know, when your parents are raising you, they're looking. This is kind of what Johan was saying too. Your parents are looking at you saying, "I know I taught you better," or "I know I
Hmm.
taught you." You know, I taught you the path and the road to go down. So, sometimes when you got rose-colored glasses, you got to get nudged a little bit, because you can't see the picture when you're inside of the frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I like
yeah,
the analogy.
Hmm.
yeah, no doubt. So
Yeah.
it's like sometimes they tap in, they won't do a hard pull, but they definitely will give you a little nudge, and you got to really open your eyes up and really check and investigate that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the thing also is that you basically are in a position that's very compromising if you're also a believer, because the Bible is calling you to leave your mom and your father and become one with that woman. So if you're a Christian or you subscribe to that type of understanding, or even the society standard for a man, everything is kind of turning towards the fact that you have to make your own decision. But we all have a moral compass, we all have values. And I think that it doesn't really, as long as you grew up around your parents, there's something that's always going to tell you you're not doing the right thing when you are entertaining the wrong person. Because for you, you're going to be like, oh, if I take her home, my mom is going to tell me what am I doing, you know? So I think that's the part where generally most men have that struggle, as far as like, okay, I got to find a woman who's going to please me, but who's also going to please my mother, because you know that you're going to go against those values if it's not someone who's essentially abiding by those or like following them, because you want to raise your kids like your mom raised you, if you
Yeah.
value the way that your parents raised you, you know. So if you don't value that, that's different. So for me, I do value that. So that was definitely something I was seeking, but she was never imposing, unfortunately. So I made my choice myself.
I lucked out, man. Like my mom loves juju, and I think it's if you carry your life by the way you were raised, and hold on to those principles and values, you're gonna look for someone that echoes that. You see what I'm saying? So if I was raised with honor and integrity and this and that, and I find a woman that carries herself that way, obviously it's going to translate to a relationship, because my mother is going to see those qualities in her as well. She's going to like her. So, but if you step outside of what you know is right, and find and get with someone that's exciting, or doesn't, or but and maybe lack something in certain areas, and you're like the 80/20 thing, it leaves room for error. It leaves room for your mom to be looking at you like, boy, why does she talk to you like that? Or just something little that you may not even necessarily pay attention to, that she's looking like, okay, this is a problem. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, I think that in my search for love, it's always been looking for someone that fits, like my moral compass, that wants the same thing, that's on the same path, as far as wanting children and a family, and carries himself, treats people with dignity and respect, and just those type of things you look for. And because that's how I was raised, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, my mama gonna love her. It's like you just know, men, we know, which is why we don't take everybody home to mom.
Facts.
So with that, like different perspective, it's all about the source. I think Don kind of mentioned it earlier. My mom, she didn't date for about 13 years. She focused on raising my little sister, and that was her main goal. With my parents, my dad and my stepmom, they've been married over 20 years together. So I would value their ideas and their advice over my mom's, just because they have a more understanding. They actually have a working relationship. So we take advice from somebody who hasn't dated for all these years and isn't currently married, or somebody that has that time and effort, and they're putting that investment in that marriage. That's the ones
Yeah,
I would value more, that advice. And but
yeah,
on the same token, also, your parents don't see you 24/7. So we all got a life outside of what our parents and what our family see. I mean, folks call me
hmm
savage for a reason. So people I've been around, people that I've dated, people that are in my life, they have more of a funner way about themselves that comes with, good and bad. So with that, my parents saw them. They were like, "Whoa, that's like somebody says a party girl. Why you dealing with a
hmm
party girl?" Not knowing I'm out here every weekend with her. You know what I mean? That's what we do. So you got to take that in mind
Right,
also.
like,
right.
okay, well,
So it might not fit, their goals or what they want for me in my future, but in my
mhm.
current part of my life, it matches and it works with me, and we're a good, match and a good parent.
Well, see, and to avoid the mom, like, she is out too much. That's where you come in and communicate, like, mom, this is what we
Yes.
do. I'm happy, and
Mhm.
that's all that matters, right? The mom's gonna be like, yeah, baby, you right. As long as my baby happy, what I'm saying. So it's just, again, communication is the key to success in all relationships, even mother, wife, us, what I'm saying. And me and my, you got to talk. You got to talk, and if your mother doesn't know that's what y'all do, and that you're happy, and she's faithful, and there's no, like, she's not out in the streets like that, like y'all out there together, then she's gonna support it, because that you her baby, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
So I just wanted to respond to a question that came on in the chat, because
mm,
now I'm reading the chat too, Sabrina.
Okay.
Um, so someone said, yeah, someone said about, do you have any statistic about African American men not having a good relationship with their mothers. The simple answer is I don't have a personal one. But when we look at our community and who essentially has the microphone to talk more about their story, like an athlete like Des Bryant yesterday or this week went viral when he was going over the relationship he had with his mom again. And I know other example that I can't think about right now. So I'm not gonna say that it's a large number, but what I just wanted to share was that when you do have a complicated relationship with your parents, especially your mom already, you tend to second guess the judge of character for people that you are dating. So if that's your predicament, essentially you're not going to be struggling with the idea that your mom doesn't like your partner that you picked because they were whether never a loving figure to you or they were not in your life or vice versa. And the reason why I brought that up is because I know we had the crack epidemic and we had so many other things that happened in our community where we had parents that were not necessarily in our life. Dwayne Wade, when he went into the NBA, his mom was in jail. You know, Demarius Thomas, or President Obama had to issue a pardon so his mom could see him play football for the very first time before he won the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. I know all those examples that I'm giving are just athletes, but those are the one that have the mic that I can see some like the relationship that most men have around me. That doesn't necessarily mean that's all of them. I hope I answer the question and it helps the conversation.
Well, let me double up on that too. And I'll say this statistically, if you look at just the black community as a whole, there are a lot of black men that are going to jail younger, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they're spending more time. There's more crimes. They're the ones that you're seeing on the evening news doing the shootings and getting shot, right? And so when you talk about relationships with your moms or your dads or whatever, um, clearly there's a disconnect in the household. Else, you would know that your child either walks around with guns, who their friends are. They would have make better choices, things like that. You would be guiding those decisions. So I mean, the evidence is in the day to day life. If you look at our lifestyles right now, the evidence is showing younger and younger, that these kids are becoming, brothers or brothers to their fathers and sisters to their mothers. Like, and it's that big
Yeah.
gap. So, I mean, the truth don't lie.
Mhm.
you
You said the
Yeah.
know,
truth don't lie. That part.
you know.
Okay, that was a great question. Thank you, Anissa.
Mm-hmm.
All right. God, great answers, great answers, great conversation. Did anyone have anything else to say about if your mom did not like your mate, what would you do? So what if mom was like, I don't like it, she gotta go. No, it's either her or me.
So, so actually, that now that you repeated the question out loud, I feel like I didn't answer it properly, or I did not answer the question to the matter of a fact. So,
Okay,
if
well,
my mom were to say that she had to go, realistically speaking, for my mom, that woman will really have to do something to the point where she's like, even God and Jesus could not save her. Because I know my mom would pray for her before she talks to her. And
yeah.
then she's gonna pray for me and sit me down, and then even invite us to church. So, like, what I'm saying, like for me, it would have been like a whole different thing, and I never had that because they always trusted my judgment of character. So now, as a man nowadays, if one of my friends were coming to me with that question, I would honestly say, at the end of the day, God is calling you to clear with your wife. As long as she's not hurting you, she's not putting you in a harm way, and this is the woman that you're going to marry, then I would say nurture the relationship because your parents are still gonna love you for who you
Mm-hmm.
are. And at the
Facts.
end of the day, their jobs stop when you become grown anyway. So
That's
that's
true.
that's kind of like the most answer I give to that question for sure.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if she don't like your wife and you got to get divorced, you know what I mean, and keep like that, that can't happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna find out if there's any issues on that level way before I get married anyway. So,
okay.
but
That part.
because I'm not gonna wait, and we at the reception, and you know what, Marvin, I hate your wife. What, you just not?
Right.
No. We're gonna find out in the dating stages, you
Absolutely.
know. But no, it's if it was the ultimatum, we're gonna have conversations because like they say, if it's not something that's like hurting me or embarrassing the family or something, something that's like petty or something that can be handled or squashed, if you just calm down and drop the ego and have a conversation about it, then no, we're gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not just gonna say, and obviously we're having good judgment. When someone's good and when someone's not. And if it's something that's happened that's truly just not good for you, that's toxic, then okay, I might have to listen to my mom and make a conscious decision because I don't want to live in toxicity. And my mom is trying to like open your eyes, take the glasses off. You see, look at what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But it would have to be something on that level for me to actually be like, okay, you know what, mom's right.
Yep.
I would never want to have that in-law beef you see about on TV and other places like that. Like I never want to hate on my wife, so I want to make sure that before we cross that line and we cross that stage and walk down that aisle, I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, get an understanding of the differences, and try to get at least on the same playing field on why they feel that way and what can we do to move forward.
Absolutely, because she can potentially and possibly be a part of the family. So you know what I mean, and a husband, wife, that person just has to be a good addition. So yeah, the family, it needs to be approval on your side and on her side. You know what I'm saying? Because who wants to be married into a family where it's miserable? You know what I'm saying? Like, golly, because I know me personally, if that was the case, I'd be like, I can't even date you no more because I don't want to date your family. Like, I can't do it. I'm gonna have to put up with them and you. I'm sorry. Like, I can't do it. I'm not gonna be miserable for the rest of my life. Hell to the no.
Yep.
I'm big on holidays, so imagine Thanksgiving. You can't
Exactly. I was about to say
Right.
holidays and family dinners and Christmas dinner. You fussing and fighting. No, I'm trying to enjoy the holiday.
Yeah, like how can we sit in all this love when it's all this evil and anger and all that? Like we would never work, So.
Yeah.
All right. Moving forward. So number 2, this is a soulmate question. Should bedroom issues stay private? Would you be upset if your partner told their bestie that our intimate life is boring? Like, girl, like she just okay, like man, like okay, it's a little bit different. I'm gonna let y'all do it. It's different when I'm talking to them.
You had it right the first time.
So first off, Marvin does not qualify to answer this question.
I gotta answer, but I mean,
he like, no, baby, tell him everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll say this though. I really wouldn't care, but the problem is that when you say something like that, you might spark the interest of somebody else that you're telling it to say, they having problems over there. Maybe I could spin that wheel and see what happens. And so if you don't want that type of smoke, that type of anything, just shut up. Else, there's Marvin.
It took a minute. I was like, oh wow. That's funny. But but despite everything I do, I'm a very private person. And in my relationship, I do not, no matter what the issue is, I do not believe in taking relationship issues to social media. And that when I talk about, I can't tell you how big of a turnoff that is. You know what I'm saying? But again, it boils down to communication. If it's to that point, there's a huge disconnect clearly in our bedroom, in our bedroom life. So how can I fix this? If you care to fix it, I want to fix it. You see what I'm saying? And You just got to talk. You have to want to talk about it and solve the issue. I mean, this is something we deal with, and I've dealt with before in talking with couples because of what I do. People inbox me, hey, I had a quick question about this, and I'm like, okay, no, just talk to them. Like, if there's an issue, if you're not being pleased, okay, I'm not gonna go there, but there could be something that could be done differently. There could be something that could be done more of or less of. You see what I'm saying? But how the person can't read your mind and if it's gotten to that point, clearly something ain't right. So to reconnect all the wires in the sex life, only way to do it is to bring everything together and talk about it, find solutions to the issues, and move forward.
That's true.
Like, at a minimum, please talk to me. Let me know what's going on. Cause I hate the fact that you go to your friends first.
Exactly. That's embarrassing. Like,
we just gotta face them.
Exactly. Next time.
Oh, Mr. Boring Sex over here. You're like, wait, hold up.
Like, why would you put me in that position?
Facts.
You got your girls clowning me, like.
I'm in a group chat and shit talking about another boring night. Like,
yeah.
So it's a discussion. Talk to me. Let me know what's boring about it. Where can I improve? What can I do? Read some Kama Sutra. Let me do something. Give me a chance before you start running your mouth to everybody else about what's going wrong in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Like I understand you get advice from other people. I'm cool with that. I understand since you gotta vent, you gotta get shit off your chest. I get that also. But please give me an opportunity to kind of improve on it first before you go running your mouth to folks on the internet or wherever else.
Yeah, I would feel betrayed.
Yeah,
facts.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yawn.
Yeah, oh man. Because the thing about it is like, I say it. I don't care. I don't think I'd ever had somebody that I ever called my sex boring. So I don't want to sound cocky, but that's what I would say. But if that were to happen, like Adonis said, like, let's talk about it. What do you have to go, talk to your friend about our issues and anything else? If you don't like the fact that, I'm not pulling your hair and you want me to pull your hair, just say that. Like, say, hey, pull my hair. I like when you pull my hair, and that solves a lot of issue. Oh, I'm pulling your hair, now what, so for me, it's like, it just shows, like the gentlemen's were saying, that it just shows the lack of trust with your own partner. If you have to address the level of discomfort to your friend, rather than addressing it with your partner. Now, if you are just venting like Fernando was saying, that's another story, because we understand that women, it's important to have a friend that you can vent to, talk to, and all that. But talk to me first. Let's work it out, because at the end of the day, men, we demand respect. Women, they want love. And when you go out your way to talk about our private business to your friend, that's a sign of disrespect. Even though if I'm not aware about that, your friend is still going to bring it up to you 3 to 4 months down the road. How's the quick minute going? And all these things, like trying to keep up. Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't catch that, but you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just like opens up a lot of doors for so many voices in your own relationship,
Right.
So yeah. So, but and again, we value respect. So that's a lot of like much to do. I would say that. So that's still file to me if you do that.
You got to think about it in terms of this also. Like, when you start to get your late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, a lot of men deal with erectile dysfunction, and that's not something a lot of men are. I mean, just think about if that's the situation, and you guys haven't really communicated, what that would do to him if he knows he's dealing with this, and then you go tell your homegirl like, oh, it's like. That could be like crippling. That could do major damage, emotionally to a man. Like, you thinking about that, like, this ain't my fault, But again, there's ways around that. So it all revolves around how is that communication level in a relationship anyway? Because if you're dealing with something like that, and that's what's causing the issue, that's what's causing your frustration and causing you to feel like you have to go vent to someone, then if you talk about it, then okay, he can go get, whatever pills, do pumps, and it's so many different ways to get around it, But also that's part of the reason why I actually got into BDSM, because my mind was always thinking forward, like, what can I do differently to keep this fire, going. You know what I'm saying? What can I introduce into the bedroom that's gonna throw the curveball in there, so those orgasms keep coming. So that's when I started, getting involved in impact play and learning about, the different toys and paddles and things like that, and what they can do, restraints and sensory deprivation, things like, so how to add little things to the sex every now and then, just to keep it from, ever getting to that point. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's like I always say, couples that play together stay together. And that's a saying this company, Lovers Lane. I don't even know if they're down here, but that's their motto. And I was like, that's the realest thing, that thing that you could ever say in when it comes to bedroom situations for a couple. You play together, you stay together, and that means exploration. That means communication. That trying new things. Things like that. So it's definitely an easily avoidable situation, but I understand, why it slips through the cracks often.
Right.
So,
And
Margaret,
you know what?
Sabrina,
I'm
can
sorry.
I put a twist on that question for y'all? Adonis, you just brought up ED. So now let me ask you this. If you're dating a young lady and you
Mhm.
develop ED and you guys end up breaking up because she's like, I can't deal with it. You're like, I need to figure out what's wrong with me. And she goes around telling people y'all broke up because you had ED. How would you feel about that?
Oh, I'd be terrible. I mean, cause now that's on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dang, your reputation, cause women talk. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something, and obviously, like, a lot of men ignore our health to begin with. So if that's something that's happening, don't just sit there and let it happen. The moment you start realizing, like, things ain't working like they used to, go straight to your doctor, figure out what your options are, get your blood work, testosterone levels checked. It's so many different things you can do. You know what I'm saying? But if you let it get to that point where it's affecting your performance and your girlfriend's just frustrated, or your whatever the case, then you kind of bring that on yourself, because you haven't taken care of yourself. You haven't taken care of your body, especially as we age. Like I said, I'm 42. So I'm like, with what I do in my lifestyle, it's like, I want to make sure everything is running and where it's supposed to be, running how it's supposed to run. So I go to my doctors, go keep my blood work updated, make sure my testosterone levels are where they're supposed to be, so I can feel confident about myself and not have to worry about anything, and I can feel like I'm 21 again at 42 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of the self-care to avoid a situation like that. But if it's gotten to that point, then you need to realize it's gotten to that point and do something about it.
and
And I'll
self-care
say
both
this.
mentally and physically too. Because
Yeah.
there's times where
Yeah.
your mental will mess you up. So
Oh
gotta make sure
yeah.
you have both of those in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Alcohol
though,
affects you.
alcohol's a big one. Um, I would say this: women as a whole, I don't think that they should bring any negativity from their relationship out into the streets, out into social media. That is
Hmm.
not a place for people to resolve issues, right? And
Right.
so the other thing is this: once you do that, like, if a woman goes to another person, or if they're with their girl and they're in a nightclub and they say, "Don't talk to that dude, he ain't shit." How you know? Girl, I just know. Guess what she's gonna go do? She gonna go creep
She
over
go
there to see
and talk
what
to him. She
the
gonna figure out.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So why do you want to do that in your relationship? Like, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Period.
So do y'all fellas, because I know for the ladies panel last night, we talked about some things. So let me ask you, so say for instance, if there were issues with you and your lady friend, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have a conversation, y'all actually communicated about the issues. Do you guys like go to your brothers and your fellas and be like, yo, like, she ain't really, you know what I'm saying, doing what she need to do? Like, do y'all do that? Do y'all go to y'all's brothers and, you know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all communicate issues? Like,
My
maybe
boys come to me.
she's not doing so. But what's the difference in them coming to you and you going to like explain? Because 98% of the people on my channel are women. They would love to know.
Well, my friends have come to me with how to with advice on what kind of toys to buy, or how do they make that change? How do they even come to their woman and address and talk about their needs? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of men we're so strong, we're so focused on providing and pleasing, we don't take time to say, okay, well, this is what I need. You know what I'm saying? So I've literally had talks with friends. It's like, how do I even approach this conversation? I'm like, well, take her, sit her down on the couch, say, baby, I need to talk to you about something that's been bothering me for a while, but I want to really, get it out before it becomes an issue, and just communicate. You know what I'm saying? Tell her what you need. So yeah. And then I've had friends come to me about toys and bloggers and what to get, how to get into it, and where to find these things, and how to spice up their sex life, and it's about the effort. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I appreciated and respected them for coming to me about that, because again, the male ego is like, I ain't trying to learn something from some other dude my age. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to no dude about my woman. But if you want to save it, you want to change things, you're gonna go to someone who knows what they're doing, or has experience in that world. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm definitely the one. I've had several conversations over the years with people that I played college football with, my boys that I'm still cool with from then in high school, whatever the case. So, but I love giving help, because I love helping couples become closer. Through healing and repairing the broken sex life. Because a lot of times that can be the major issue in relationships. The sex is bad. We don't have intimacy, we and things like that. So it's like, how do you do those things without it being like the same positions every time, same routine every time? What else can I do to mix that up? And like I said, if that's not your world, you're not going to have that creativity already implanted in you. So to be able to do those kind of things. So they come to me.
No, I don't have a Marvin in my life. I don't have my opinion that I would.
Hey, bro, you can hit me up anytime, bro. I got you, dog. Now you do.
But so, like, I don't go to a fella about my issue. I go to another female about my issues with my lady, because I feel like the females always give me better advice, because they are a woman. So they can give me their perspective from that angle. I can kind of sit there and say, okay, this is what I'm experiencing. Have you experienced this before? Do you do the same kind of thing? What do you do to please your man? Stuff like that. And this is a platonic relationship that I have with my female friends, but it's a way for me to get some advice from them that I can utilize in my bedroom, and then go back to them with the, results. Like, hey, good looks on that. That worked.
Interesting. Paul, what you got?
Well, see, I'm just so adverse. I'm sorry, but if my homies is coming to me talking about, yo, man, she don't do this and do that no more, I'm looking at them like, what did you do to take the train off the track? Like, because you just don't wake up Monday morning and she's like, yo, I'm off of all of that. Everything we was on, I'm off of it. So my thing is like, how did you get there? What was the thing? Like, when did this start? How long have you been letting this happen? Because at the end of the day, as men, right, if we become complacent with the things that we have, that we surround ourselves in our relationship, we become complacent, then that becomes a part of the relationship. And then all of the other stuff, the freaky things and all that stuff, has now exited. And we have now elevated to a boring level. And if we have to start with that acceptance, then you start asking for other stuff that you used to get 2 years ago, and now you look crazy. They're like, what? You want me to do what? Man, you crazy as hell.
You gotta know your woman, what they like.
Right.
I got friends that like wear masks and do fire play and knife play, and like,
oh yeah,
that ain't my avenue. Right. So
that's the shit.
Like, yeah, like I know about it, but I ain't like on fire, man. That's not my move.
So my next conquest is electro play. So that's Juju's favorite.
With the gloves. You put the gloves?
No, I got those are vampire gloves. You're thinking about with the leather gloves with the staple gun spikes coming out of them.
No, not that one.
No, electro. Oh, you're talking about no. Electro play. It's just a conduit, and it sends the charges through you when you touch them. It's yeah.
Like a TENS unit.
Like, zzz.
Yeah, just a little bit more intense though, because you shock the other person. But no, it's a yeah. I don't like it per se for myself, but she loves it, and the way she responds to it is just like, yeah.
Damn, vampire gloves. I'm gonna have to write that one.
Yes,
Right?
vampire gloves are our favorite because Sabrina, you know how when your spot gets touched, it's like, oh, it makes you jump. The vampire gloves gives you that sensation everywhere,
Oh.
I'm
everywhere
taking
you're
notes.
touched. Matter of fact, that last performance me and Juju did, I started out with the vampire gloves.
Wow.
They're on Etsy.
Everybody's like, we stuck like shit.
Listen, put the link.
I mean, yeah,
Share
these
the
just little
link, man.
things
Share the
like,
link.
yeah, just spice it up, man. Life is too short to not be in the,
Yes, absolutely.
I always say, while I'm young and vigorous and got all this energy, I'm trying to have fun because one day I will be 70 and not able to do all this shit.
Right.
You
Especially
know?
if you found your person. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely. I agree. Okay, Yawn, did you answer the question or are you trying to stay real still?
No, I was just taking it all in. Man, I was over here talking about my sex time being boring. I look like a ninja next to Adonis.
You can't, like, my life has been so different, bro. You can't, don't even compare yourself, man, because everybody has their own experiences. Mine, I just got further into erotica than most people
Oh
do.
yeah, man. Honestly, I'm gonna look up the Vampire Glove once I get in a relationship. So all those things are great things. I was just saying, like, I dig it. You and your lady having a level of communication where you guys can tap into different level of your intimacy and still grow into that. And I think that that's what everybody want to have when a relationship.
Hmm.
Going back to Sabrina's question, if one of my homies was coming to me with, their private business, honestly, I would not necessarily like sit there and listen because I don't want to insert myself into bedroom stuff. If it's something that's like related to their relationship and he just wants my wisdom on it, I'm gonna share that to him. Now, if the bedroom issues are essentially bleeding over their communication and all those things, then you definitely have to go see a sex therapist or even attend one of your presentation, Adonis, and see how it
Hmm.
spice things up. But I'm never gonna like give an advice besides go seek help because I'm not gonna be telling other people how they should do their intimacy stuff. And because I'm not gonna do that, I'm not also gonna go to any of my friends and tell them like, yo, this is what's happening here with my lady. What do you think I should do to like no, I'm not gonna do that because I just want to protect that intimacy that we have, you know. And I just feel like intimacy is not just about sex, and that's also part of intimacy. That's an intimacy journey going from not being able to find orgasm anytime you guys are having sex to figuring out together. That builds friendship, that builds foundation, that builds that chemistry, when you
Right.
guys are solving it together, you know. Not, oh, here's the vampire gloves. Sabrina said to use it. It works great. Now we over here using it because Sabrina said we should use it, and then I'm over here like, well, your homegirl always have ideas. I don't even like those vampire gloves anywhere on me. So
Mm.
Right,
that's the
right.
reason why for me it's like it should be a progress that you guys are doing together, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Facts. I saw a couple questions about the gloves. Juju just brought them to me, so I'll show you.
Oh, Pio done pull him up.
Look, he got the real things. P.O. got him on screen.
Yeah, I told you you're over here
Yeah,
playing
it's a
double
leather
is
glove
more
with little
real.
I don't know if you can
Oh,
see
like
that.
little spikes on them for real.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yep. So I what I do is I gently,
Just
trace them along the sides, the sensitive spots. And when I tell you the level of pleasure it causes, because like I said, it's like when your spot gets triggered and you jump, like if women, all the women out there that they spot is their neck, when that first kiss hit that neck, you like, oh, this gives you that sensation everywhere the spikes touch. Yeah, you got to know how to use them, of course, because there's,
right. Be like,
I mean,
you
there's,
cut me. No,
yeah, there's spikes. So I'll trace the body line and then give it a little, every now and then. But it's fun stuff, man. See,
Look, she tingling just listening to you.
yeah, it's sensuality is an art form, and that's what I really took it as when I entered this whole world, those years ago. Sensuality and foreplay is an art, and it's and this is the crazy part about this entire world and in this conversation when it comes to couples. Erotica is whatever you make it. There's no rules to it. The rules are what you make it. So people don't understand. It's like there's so many different things that you can do outside of the norm that could just fit you. All you got to do is explore and kind of step outside your box and see what else is out there, because it could be something that you really like, or something that could really add fire to to the bedroom. And somebody said 70 to look at better versus the younger self. Yeah, facts. That's goals.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
definitely goals.
that's a gentleman, a guy that joined, I think, my channel a couple weeks ago. Shout out to Black Lexicon. Yep. So I don't know. So Adonis, so the thing is like, just because we're talking about it now, and I know we have to move forward, but just because we're talking about it, like, can you let them know, like, do you hold classes? Do you have a podcast, or do you have like OnlyFans? Like, do you have anything that they can subscribe to? Because it's obviously people in the chat that are very curious with a lot of these things that you're discussing. So, because I don't want to spend, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, real quick. Juju and we're launching our podcast next month. It's called Love and Lifestyles, where we talk about love, relationships, and how to coexist with alternative sexual lifestyles. But we'll also be doing a lot of education on things like toys and BDSM and just different worlds of kink, erotica, swinging, stuff like that. So we'll be talking about it all to educate people too. And one of our panelists, she's a family and relationship psychologist. So she'll be coming from the psychological aspect of all of this. And then Juju and I will be bringing our expertise and experiences into the podcast as well, and discussing how, of course, like I said, we balance everything with the relationship. So, but our YouTube that it's going to be on is boa.erotica. That's launching next month. So if they follow us there, and yes, we do live performances. Where I do live demonstrations with her or with other people with these different types of utensils. And February, the Super Bowl weekend, there's 2 events that I'm doing here in Dallas. But if they go to my Instagram, boa.erotica, I'll be posting the links there. So if they want to come see me perform live and do these things and see how to use it, I do. There's a lot of audience participation where I do demos with people that come to the shows if they want to try it, experiment with the things that we do. And there's friends of mine in the BDSM community that do their different forms, like shibari rope play, the Japanese rope tying. It's a beautiful art in BDSM. And then impact play and electro play, fire play. You'll see all those different types of things at these demonstrations. And my show, the Boa Experience, is where I brought all that together with erotic poetry. I read my short stories live, and then we have BDSM demos as well. But the Dirty Show, my expo is coming back in the spring. But yeah, there's definitely a lot. And on my Instagram, I have videos of me and Juju performing, using these things too as well. So if they want to see those, boa.erotica on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, I got this whole little like dictionary of these definitions. So outside of this, I need to go through these one by one. I need to understand what these titles mean. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of terms, man. It's a lot of terms, but here's the thing. That's where you pick the terms that fit you and say, okay, this is what I like. This is who I am in this world, and I've done that myself, with my kinks and fetishes that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back memories from your younger days. Hey, yeah, you sounds like you lived in that adventure, and that's how I'm trying to be. I'm trying to look back like, man, I had some fun, boy. You know.
Yeah, Winter Road. She's off the chain. She literally has no filter whatsoever. She's
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. Do your thing. I'm all for it.
Okay. All right. Wow. That was yeah. See, I love my job. I swear I do. All right. So moving forward, how can you tell when you have outgrown a relationship?
If progression has ceased.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I mean progression on all realms, progression in business, finances, emotionally in the relationship. If you've been in, I'm not a person to want to be in a relationship for 10 years and then get married 15 years, down the road. No. So that could be a sign that the relationship has run its course. If it's been a decade, y'all ain't moved forward and haven't taken the next step. I firmly believe that. I'm on a 3-year plan in a relationship, a year, get engaged, take a year, plan the wedding, and then get married going into year 3. So if it's not progressing, you're standing in place, and life is too short to stand in place in any aspect of your life. You see what I'm saying? So if you feel you're not progressing, and you're not accomplishing things together, or individually, that definitely could be a sign that things have come to a halt.
Yeah.
Y'all got the ladies in their feelings right now, y'all. Look, Sunny Does Life said, let's all go get our best lingerie right now.
Hey, you know what? Some of the events we do, the lingerie is the attire. So definitely get your best lingerie. Just keeping it real, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. I'm sorry. I got focus.
But yeah, we'll bring it back. Let's go ahead and bring it back.
I know. Okay. How can you tell when you've outgrown a relationship? Okay, go. Let's go. I'm sorry.
All right. I'll say when I feel like I don't want to do shit, I don't want to do nothing at all, which I don't want to take you out. I don't want to watch TV, which I just want to come home, go to bed, lay down, drink my soda or whatever, and call it a day. Or when you look at them and you see them just walking to the kitchen, and they might not even have nothing on, and you just looking like, man, get out of here.
Oh man.
Get out of here.
I know one example where I absolutely knew it was a wrap, and we couldn't move forward. I couldn't even kiss her.
Yep.
Like, it was dreadful, and I was like, you know what? Can't do this. Couldn't even kiss her.
When your phone go off, you see their name or see their picture, and you won't answer it, you just look like, yeah, I'm good.
The disgust face, like, ugh.
Yep.
I'm sick. So just like that time,
this shit.
Yeah. You don't even. I think I made a reference last night, a joke. It's a meme, like, dang, I called you yesterday, or I called you last night. My bad. The dog was outside walking the fish. I was like, I'm sorry. I ain't even. I missed it. I missed the call. Or was the fish walking the dog? I can't remember one of the two.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, when they perfume get on your nerves and you smell that shit and you like, damn, that shit stink. You smell good though.
Yeah. Like, dang, is she breathing again?
She want to make plans, and you like, no, I can't even. I'm busy. My bad. I can't even make it. You just in the house, playing video games, watching TV.
Nothing.
But you'd rather do that to be to yourself than be around them. They know it's a wrap.
You hanging up the phone like, yo, my rug's on fire. I gotta go.
Any excuse not to have to deal with them.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Yeah.
What about you? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you good. That I was just taking all in. I would say, and I want to go back to what Bianca said about taking it deeper. What are the behaviors? Something that gets you to that point. I think for me, I know that I've outgrown a relationship, and outgrowing in the sense of not feeling that the space is fitting you, you know, because that's the way that when you outgrow something, that means you can't fit into that space anymore, right? Or meaning like the relationship that you are with that person. And just like Adonis, I'm a man where we're generally with a 3-year plan, meaning I'm going to date you for at least a year, and then we're going to be engaged for at least a year, and we'll plan our wedding at least on the 3rd year, right? But and while you're doing all those plans as a man, you are leading your woman or offering leadership and all those guidance as far as how you guys want to conduct that plan. And generally what tend to happen is whether the woman wants to do her own thing or she's not doing anything at all, that's going with the plan that you guys have established. So then you continue to grow on your own journey throughout that timeline, and half the time you find yourself on a journey where the other person is not even involved or doesn't see value in or anything like that. So I would just say for me, outgrowing a relationship goes along with where I'm going and where that person is going in life. Because if they are not going anywhere or we are not going the same direction, then we're just wasting each other's time. And then the expression of that is just like what Pio was saying. I don't want to smell you. I don't want to be around you, because then psychologically I'm developing apathy. So then I'm withdrawing any form of affection that I can give you, because I know giving that to you is not even going to come back to me, because that's not what I want, you know? And what would the turn off or there's not necessarily a turn off. I think it's more about the progression of the relationship as you guys communicate and execute whatever the plan is for the relationship. Now, if you're with a man that does not have a plan, it's okay for you to walk away when he feels like he outgrow the relationship, because that plan never included you in the first place.
Somebody, no, sir, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, for me, I know when I stop caring, when I stop trying, that's when I know it's over. If I don't want to improve, or if I don't want to improve the relationship, or if I'm actually self-sabotaging the relationship, I don't want to go any further. And that's when I know it's a wrap. That's like one of the worst things I recognize when it's like toward the end of the relationship itself.
Somebody asked what happened to where I didn't want to kiss her. I couldn't kiss her. It was a very toxic and emotionally abusive relationship. She isolated me from my family and put me through things that you wouldn't even imagine a 21, 22-year-old kid going through, you know, fresh out of college. My life was football, so I didn't really get to experience the streets and dating and things like that. So I was naive. There's no way to sugarcoat it, you know, coming out of school. But she took advantage of that. And it was a very, very controlling, manipulative, and like I said, emotionally and mentally abusive relationship. So when I finally was able to break away from it, I tried one more time to see if I could make it work. And one time she had dropped me off at the gym it was when I first began becoming a personal trainer. And she went, and I found myself grabbing my gym bag and trying to get out the car into the gym door before she said anything. And she said, "Marvin, I can't get no kiss." And I was like, I literally was just, my shoulders sank. I was just like, oh. Walked back to the car, leaned in. It was like it was like when you see on TV when someone literally looks like disgusted when they about to kiss somebody. It was like that. And I turned around and walked back in the gym. And as soon as I walked through the door, I was like, I can't do this.
So let me ask you, how did you end that?
I isolated myself from women for about like 9 months to heal. And then did a little therapy and then just move forward. You know what I'm saying?
But did you confront her with the issue, or did you just not or did you ghost?
No. The conversations didn't stop for years. But as far as me being in that relationship, you know, dealing with the the damage and the trauma that was being that I was subjected to. No, I ended that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what happened to why, because after you do so many things to someone like that on that level, and I'm trying to hold details, because even still I don't want to put her out there like that, you know.
Understood.
And that's just how I feel as a man. Like it happened 20 years ago, whatever the case, it is what it is, you know. But I still tell the story because, you know, there are men that go through mental and psychological abuse in relationships, you know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And to have dealt with that and survived it, it's like persevering through something that you never would have imagined yourself, especially me I was playing college football at University of Cincinnati. I was popular on campus because I played football and I sang at different events on you know, the girls knew I sang. I like singing to the girls, you know what I'm saying? So to go from that to dealing what I dealt with in that relationship, it was like there was no other way to describe it but like just like a complete fall from everything that I had worked for since I was 10 years old. My parents first put me on the football field. You know what I'm saying? Like, come out of college, it was just a stark difference, you know what I'm saying? And being, you know, college football, D1, whatever the case, traveling, playing football, to, you know, going through the things that I went through. Like I said, to sparing details, you know, for because of the situation. But again, it was like, you have to, at some point, you got to remember your own self-worth, you know, and remember that you deserve so much more than the just the constant psychological beating you're taking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No doubt.
and I've never spoken public about that, but that's something that definitely that I feel can help many people. I mean, not just men, because clearly, obviously, you know, abuse goes both ways, but dealing with those situations, and yeah, that's the story.
Yeah, you know, and I, you know, I've been down that road, in certain respects, because one of the big things about me is I don't hit women. Like, that's like kind of my thing. I don't like people that do it. I don't do it. I don't. It's just not, you know. And when women know that, they push the limits. You understand
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And they push and they do and they do and they do, because they know that how steadfast you are about, you know, well, I ain't gonna hit this woman.
yeah,
So what do? They test that, and then they try to get physical, like, oh well, you ain't gonna do nothing.
yeah,
And just having to restrain yourself in that, you know, through all of that stuff, is emotional abuse, because
oh yeah,
you're murdering yourself on the inside, because you know you have to sit down and you know what you believe in or whatever, and you know what I mean, and then you have somebody antagonizing you in that type of way, where it makes you, you know, it puts you against yourself, because you understand that, you know, you understand what your values are, but at the same time you understand also that you should not be in this position.
I mean, prime example,
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors. Look what he's
Yeah.
going through right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, what do we do? And in my situation, she knew how I was raised. She know I got 3 sisters and my mom. They raised me to protect my family, so she knew I wasn't gonna come at her like that. So, like you said, taking advantage of the situation and pushing buttons and pushing and pushing and pushing until, you know, you damn near have a mental breakdown.
Right.
Like for me, I'm 6'4", 6'1", 2 something. Like I know what I can do with my hands. I know what kind of power I have. So for me to have to restrain myself from doing it, and like you know what I'm capable of doing, and you still want to try me. It's just
Yeah.
like that's a hard struggle. So I respect you for it, because like I said, they really do try you at times. You just gotta remember your morals and remember who you are, and be like, you know what? Yeah, I know what can come after this. If I do anything, you're not my problem now. The police are my problem. The courts are my
Right.
problem.
Yeah,
Your
it
brothers are
can
my
ruin our
problem.
lives.
Yeah,
That's why I say, I mean, he's probably done. More than likely done. You know what I'm saying? After a situation like that. But at the same time, it's like the man was running for his life because he knew it was a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine after all that, after him running, and he still lost his sponsorship.
That
He
he
still lost the
knew it.
movies and
He knew
everything
he
else.
still lost. He knew it was a wrap, man. I
Say
felt so
he's
bad. It was
guilty. We
hurtful.
stay guilty.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
That
want
was
to
that was
apologize
that
to the
was.
chat. I actually have to get off here. Thanks Sabrina for having me on. Thank you, Philip, for having me. Thank
All
everybody
right, fam.
watching.
Thank you
Keep
Yes,
for
doing your
sir.
thing. Hope to be on here again, please. But thank you for having me. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks,
Be safe out
All
there.
right,
Fernando.
you too,
All
bro.
right, bro. All right,
Nice
man.
to meet you, man.
Same. Appreciate
All
y'all.
right.
Bye.
Savage.
Oh, wow. Wow. Good conversation. Good conversation. I
Mm-hmm.
love to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So have we wrapped up? How can you tell that you have outgrown a relationship? Any final
Yeah.
words? Or be good with it?
Yeah. When you feel it in your heart, I mean, obviously take time to analyze your thoughts and your feelings, why you're feeling this way, look at the situation, and don't just make snap decisions,
Right.
and be in control of your emotions in the process, but definitely you got to do what's best for you, in the long run. And if you know that it's done, then, a lot of people stay in bad relationships, longer than they really should.
Absolutely.
And it ends up costing you more in the long run. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
Facts. All right. So last question. Your partner has not been intimate with you in months. What do you do? Do you find it elsewhere? Of course, we know that you should communicate with them, but like what you gonna do? Is it okay to go try to find it elsewhere? I don't know. You tell me. But
Well,
this is the soulmate question. Your partner
well,
has not been intimate with you in months. Is it okay for you to find it elsewhere? And what are you gonna do?
let me give you a little story on that. Just real quick. Let me give you a little story. I like to do my little analogies.
Yes, we
So
love. We
so
love.
yeah. So for the purposes of for this, I'll say this. I'm with a disabled person, right? They can't move, they can't do anything, and we rocking, we living together and all that stuff, right? And then what happens? The garbage can tips over and it falls on the floor. Everything comes out of the garbage can. It's just there. And it's there for days. And then it's there for months, right? Eventually, that disabled person is going to call somebody to come clean up that mess. And they're going to get over there and they're going to clean it up. So I say that to say this. If you do that and withhold it, somebody's going to get called to clean up your garbage over time. So at the end of the day, if you just take it off the market with no communication and there's nothing going on with it, then somebody else will jump in the mix. If you call it out, if I call it out and say, "Yo, why in the hell are we not getting busy no more?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm just tired all the time or whatever." Okay, well, what the hell is this going to take? And you get spun around a block, around a block, around a block, around a block. It's either one or two things. She ain't interested, and that's cool, or somebody else is scratching the itch. But at the end of the day, you can't stay there and be neutral, like, well, because you have to have a conversation. Well, look, how about I just go out and get a you know, little something going on the side? Is that all right with you? If it's not, then let me do, or let's do what we need to do.
yeah.
I'm sorry. So is this your girlfriend or your wife?
I wouldn't care if it was either
Oh,
or, because if we listen, there is a thing called emotionally or physically divorcing your mate, right? And if you physically divorce your mate, then you're saying, I no longer want this responsibility. I no longer claim this person as my wife or my husband or whatever. You're no longer adapting that. So you're opening up the door to have a new person be introduced in your role in that capacity. This is 2024, by the way. This is not 1980 or 79 or whatever.
My perspective is a little different because my lifestyle is different. Um, I'm a swinger, so I don't believe in cheating.
You
Uh,
don't have
Oh,
to.
I didn't know that, bro.
and that's what it boils down to. It's like I'm
Yeah.
going to talk to you. I'm going to say, hey, this is we haven't gotten it in 2 weeks now. What's going on? Blah blah blah. Excuse. Okay, I got it. You're going through something. All right, it's been week 3. What's going on? I'm a speak. I'm a communicate because I got needs. I have things that I'm into. I have things that I enjoy. Um, and if it's something that can't be fixed, then I have a decision to make. Do I stay with this situation where I'm clearly not happy and this person isn't trying to fix it, or do I stay, or do I move on and find a better situation? And I ended a 5-month relationship. We had just got going, and I saw that my world was too much for her. She tried and everything and the effort was definitely appreciated. But at the end of the day, it wasn't who she was. And I don't ever want to change somebody. I want to love you for who you are, just like I want you to love me for who I am, which is why I present who I am. So I saw that it just our worlds weren't going to match, and I saw that happening, the progression. You know what I'm saying? Like I love talking about sex. I love dirty talking and just mental stimulation with my partner. You know what I'm saying? And that was something that she struggled with because she wasn't used to sexual men. I was like a culture shock for her, and I understood that. So it's like, okay, do I sit here and see her struggling trying to keep up with me, or do I let her find someone that fits her better, on her level of sexuality? You know what I'm saying? And I ended it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just be mad. Like, no, like I can go every day. You talking about a month? I'm gonna lose my mind day 3. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, like I mean that whole I just don't buy it. Like I mean I get it. Like sometimes even just in your regular relationship you could have no issues and you guys have good camaraderie,
Mhm.
loving each other and all of that. Sometimes you just don't be like, I don't just feel like it right now. I just don't.
Hmm.
You have those spats and that's cool. I get that. But you can't be consistently like, yo, I'm not. You just gonna have to, work it out on your own or whatever. Like, well, then why are you here?
Hmm. Because we got these issues, and now I don't feel wanted on top of that. Oh no.
Right. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, now,
So for me, I would say, to go back to the question, you haven't had sex for months. Is it okay to find it elsewhere? Fellas, I'm gonna disagree with you guys on that, because the reason why I said it's not okay is because you also got to think about yourself first, right? If you guys got to the point where there is no sex for months, there must be a bigger issue within the relationship. Number one. Number two, the sex for me, in my opinion, right? And I don't know, different lifestyle and the way that it's being seen. It's like it also has a connection with the emotional you. It also has a connection with the healthy you. You know what I mean? So when you are not getting it from your girlfriend, your partner for months and everything else, and you want to go out and trying to find it elsewhere, it's not going to solve the problem that you have to deal with yourself. I take an example. Adonis, you were talking about the young lady you dated, and you had to take some time away to heal and do all those things. Do you see how healthy it helped you to develop better relationship as you've gone older, right?
Hmm.
So the reason why I'm saying is because if you have a bad relationship where you're no longer getting sex from, the issue that you're walking away from, it might be bigger than just you wanting to get it in. And maybe it's probably a moment for you to sit down with yourself and ask, what went wrong in that relationship? Because sex is never the solution, in my opinion, when you're dealing with emotional issue, you
Yeah,
know?
and it's funny you say that because the sex issue wasn't the only reason why I ended the relationship. It was like maybe 3 other major issues that I saw that were going to become major problems down the road. Emotionally, like you said, that I was like, yeah, that plus this plus this. I'm like, yeah, it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? I would never just leave a relationship just because the sex is bad. I do what I do for a reason. I can fix it. I can make it. I can educate. We can. I could guide the woman to get it to where it needs to be. But someone asked if it was a illness or an injury. Obviously not. If I totally understand, if your health takes a turn, my concern isn't going to be on sex at that point. I'm gonna be my concern is going to be on helping you recover. So my mind ain't even gonna be there. So nah. And then somebody else said, was the swinging both ways with my girlfriend? Yeah, it is. But we don't allow it to, like, we have to be in a good place. You got to be in a good place to do something like that, and not and having good energy in your relationship. So she said, yeah, what if the energy is wasted?
Sorry, bro. I was just laughing at some of those questions too, because somebody asked if we use Viagra and all. I was just like,
Yeah. Like I said, my world is different, man. So my perspectives are not going to be the consensus, So,
but I think that this provides a better answer, right? Because you do have an opinion that's from a different lifestyle, with that is opposite of a monogamous lifestyle that I'm used to,
right.
and we both providing, even PO, right? We are all providing a different solution to the problem, and so depending on whatever the chat is lifestyle they're subscribing to, you got to be able to reset the pump, if you want me to call it that way. Regardless of what it is, looking elsewhere from my perspective would never help you. But if looking elsewhere is part of your lifestyle, that's just for you. You're just getting a quick oil change while you're getting back on track.
Yeah. But the
So,
thing is, you don't look elsewhere in this situation when things are bad.
yeah.
It's not meant to heal a bad sex life.
Yeah.
I've always said it's meant to throw lighter fluid on an already burning flame. Y'all flame is already hot, and every now and then you just like, what I'm saying, do something wild, do something, boom, you get this big explosion of sexual energy between you and your partner, during whatever you choose to do. But it definitely has to be practiced when the relationship is in a healthy place. Because trust me, if not, all you're doing is inviting more problems.
Yeah, that's for sure. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I definitely agree wholeheartedly. But yeah, like I said, bro, you know, from a physical perspective, if you are able-bodied and everything is working, and there is no issues physically, and you're telling me that we're good emotionally, but you ain't throwing nothing out, what are you here for?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, if there is the connection emotionally, it's very hard not to have intimacy physically. Like, it's really hard to not have sex, because you guys are having good days, you guys are having good moments, you guys are having mental victories over whatever you go through your days. So as you having all those conversations, sex is like another way of celebrating. So for me, if we get to the point where we are not having sex for months, how what are we doing in our relationship? What are those conversations during the day? And now, if we are having conversation like we're roommates, and you're looking for sex elsewhere, then the problem was never the sex that's missing. The problem is the emotional connection that's no longer there. And when you having sex is just to tell your body to satisfy your hormone at that time, because when you're deprived of something like you enjoy, like sex, you got those rushes and everything, but that's not going to solve the issue,
Right.
So
yeah,
I mean, I get it. I get it from y'all's perspective, though.
Yeah, whenever something like that happens in a relationship and something just stops, and it stops for extended period of time, there's clearly an underlying issue that needs to be resolved.
Yeah.
And again, why I say communication is one of the keys to success in a relationship, because those problems can be solved through talking about it. If the couple can again drop the egos, drop the pride, and sit down and say, baby, okay, listen, I'm sorry about all of this. Let's just talk. Let's figure this out. If y'all love each other and care about each other and care about the relationship enough, then your hearts will be like, okay, yeah, we do need to talk about this, because I don't want to walk around here not feeling like you want me. You know what I'm saying? As a man, like I desire feeling wanted by my woman. You know what I'm saying? And it could be through little things. Just knowing that she cares about me, and that she's thinking about me. The way I am for her. You know what I'm saying? So if things like that stop, I'm automatically gonna know something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, she ain't kissing me good morning anymore, or
Right.
she's not kissing me goodbye when I go to work anymore, or she doesn't smile super big when I come home anymore. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because the energy has changed, and if you're in tune with your partner, you can feel
Yep. And then you want to know who's getting the oil.
it. Yeah, yeah.
That's true. That's
You
true
want to
for
know.
sure.
She said sometimes you gotta throw in a little Teddy and get to work. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Look,
And she also said they had another question. I can't answer it here because there's no way for me to answer that without going into detail.
right. Because I was like, I know he want to answer it, but he
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
definitely know how to answer it.
answer it. So yeah, so definitely if y'all go to his social media and follow him and go to his
I'll
show.
write about it,
Yeah.
but that would be for the after dark
Yes.
conversations.
Yes.
After Dark show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, guys. I think that actually wraps it up. Those are all of our questions. I didn't think we were going to be on here for an hour and a half. I figured maybe an hour, but this was a great conversation. Y'all hit
Oh
on
yeah.
a lot of great subjects, and I'm so glad I love my job. I promise you, I love this. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. You guys know in the beginning I do an introduction, and then at the end I do an extroduction. So please let them know where they have seen your face, where they can follow you on social media. If you have any websites, podcasts, or anything that you would also like to share, please share. We'll go ahead and start with Yohan.
Yeah, once again, I'm Yohan. I was not on Ready to Love. Just a fan of the show. I appreciate the platform with Sabrina. I'm in real estate and mortgage, so anything real estate financing, definitely hit me up with your questions on Instagram. My Instagram is Yokita7. So feel free to reach out to me there. I'm always passionate about educating people on making the right choices with their real estate purchases. So hit me up. And Sabrina, thank you for having me on, like always.
Thank you. Adonis.
Yes, I am Adonis Allen, season 8, Ready to Love. I'm an erotic author and of Bo Erotica Book One. It's a book of erotic short stories written from the woman's perspective. It's a very, very intense and stimulating piece of work. You can find me at boa.erotica on Instagram. The questions that some of you had, I definitely will be discussing those on the Love and Lifestyle podcast show. You can head over to our YouTube channel at boa.erotica and follow it, like and subscribe, and then we'll be launching that next month. So I will be delving deeper into the things that we discussed that I couldn't discuss here, and then we'll be talking about those on the After Dark series. Sabrina, thank you for giving me the opportunity and the platform to come talk about these things and help people. I hope my input has helped somebody today, because that's why we do it. And then boerotica.com is the website. That's it.
Thank you.
All
Pio.
right. Yeah, you already know it's PO from Potomac, season 5, 6-ish. I don't know. In between there. 100 sightings on IG. Good night.
Good night. All right, guys. Thank you so much again. If you have enjoyed the show, definitely give it a thumbs up on your way out. If you are new here, shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining my soulmate community. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for the live reaction watch party for Ready to Love, part 2, episode number 3. Bye.